Hello everyone, Mr. Tradevestor here. Welcome to today's video about physical and digital collectibles. So why this topic and not another video about mint numbers as I usually do? Well, over the past few months, we have seen more and more people buy physical counterparts to their favorite NFTs, and myself included, with this lovely Starfire right here. And even a YouTube channel dedicated to this topic. Shout out to Biskuit. So all of that got me thinking, and after a while it became clear that okay, all DC collectibles are digital reproductions of existing physical statues, but what about the other brands? So what about Marvel, for example? Or the different posters we have seen thus far. And then for the artist NFTs, so are they too based on the existing physical pieces? And so on for each and every brand on VeVe. And then comics too. So we know that the main covers are identical to the real comic covers, but what about the alternate covers such as this one right here? And by the way, shout out to Dancing Nidorina, who talked about this specific cover in a video 1 year ago. So, well, it turns out that all the items on this page do actually exist in physical form, well, except for the common Spider-Man. But then, as a mint lover, I didn't stop there and I wanted to know, so for those who are indeed digital clones, to quote David Yu himself, so were they released as limited editions? And if so, how many were in fact released and were they individually numbered? So as I found out, for example, this battle statue has a total of 5,000 editions per physical release. So this mint right here is a cool one to own. And on the other hand, I was also interested in the date and year of their physical releases. And with that, I discovered that this iconic Batman was released in physical form in 2020, which also happens to be the year that the VeVe app was first launched, by the way. So making it another special item to own in one's collection. And finally, once again, so let's not forget about comics. So while edition sizes don't really apply here, release years do, which is why this number here is of extra significance for this Amazing Spider-Man number 293. So with all those questions and pieces of information, and considering the kind of content I have previously created, the only natural next step was to create a brand new public spreadsheet about that. So let's find out by clicking on my Linktree link right here. It's loading. All right. Taking longer than expected, but we'll get there. Right, so back to speaking now. So here we see the latest spreadsheet I was talking about, physical versus digital. But before jumping to it, just a little small word about the other spreadsheets that you can see here. So first you have the vintage here, which is a spreadsheet where specific mint numbers that the community is looking for are listed for everyone to see to increase awareness and the odds of finding them. And below, so right here, are the forms to use if you have a mint number you would like to submit. So if we go here and see what it looks like. So again, loading is slow today. Alright, so just also before I move on, so just a little quick shout out to the Rebel Duck as well, because this project was a collaboration between the two of us. So basically, so this is the main page. So every week, more or less, one of the collectibles is showcased here, and I showcase it on Twitter as well. And then, but then, so here we have the, I guess, database and all the different items with the mint numbers that some people are looking for are listed here. Most people are trying to match a physical copy with the mint number that they have, and then but others are trying to complete set or matching mint. So those are the main reasons, but any reason really, it wouldn't matter. If you're interested in specific mint, you can just submit one, it will appear here. So that's for this one. And the second, so here you see the comment numbers. So with comment being the construction of comic and mint, so comment numbers. So I don't really update it much anymore, but the idea was to list comic numbers by rarity to try to find, for example, what is the lowest and the highest mint number for a given rarity for each comic. And also with the similar idea in mind, a few months later, so Sleepyn Comics had a similar goal when he created his VeVerank.com website. So go and check that out as well. But in both cases, so you can find videos on my YouTube channel that cover these two in more detail. But for now, let's come back to today's main topic and find out finally what this physical versus digital project looks like. Alright, so here we are with this badass Harley Quinn welcoming us, trying to showcase to the world that she's the best. So we can see at the bottom here that I have organized the spreadsheet by season and have comics into a single tab at the end. But first, let's look at season 1, for example. So on the left, I have listed all collectibles by set and by release order under the digital world section. The release date and total number of editions are listed, as well as set number as bonus information, because I like numbers and because why not. And then on the right, everything that pertains to the physical world goes here. And bridging the two in the middle is the digital clone column. I define the term digital clone as being exactly modeled after physical collectible and not being a 3D model based on a character or popular item. So for example, all Batman black and white collectibles meet this criteria, but the Adventure Time characters do not, as we can see just here. Or the Back to the Future DeLoreans are obviously based on the movie's iconic vehicle, but was there a real and official 1/1 version released as a collectible? Is the question I asked myself. And then I said no here because I don't think so. Unlike if we go to season 3 and look at something here, this Triumph motorcycle, to my surprise, they did release 250 of those as real collectible that you could purchase for almost 20,000 USD. So yeah, that was a big surprise, which means that here, yes, it's a digital clone. And just before I move on, by the way, so I'll just use this opportunity to say that obviously nothing here should be seen as financial advice, as this spreadsheet may not always be 100% accurate. seeing as I am just a VeVe lover and not affiliated with the production team in any way, shape or form. So next, if we come back to season 1, so once the collectible has been deemed as a digital clone, so we have the release date or year as mentioned previously, as well as information regarding edition sizes when applicable. So for example, even though Cryptkins come in limited quantities, they are not individually numbered, hence the no here in this column. But so sometimes artist items, for example, may be limited to very small quantities. So for example, a total of 100, but they still may not be individually numbered either. So would be no here. But just a disclaimer, so there may be a few inconsistencies across the spreadsheet for this specific variable, because sometimes information is hard to find, so I will apologize for that in advance. And because I guess Canadians apologize all the time, apparently that's a thing. So this is one of the reasons that I have added references here to everything and that I am providing to you as information. So yeah, 1 or 2 usually is enough, so I decided to go with only 2. And then next to that, so we have a notes column to add any other information I found interesting, such as information about a second edition, such as here for a Riso, for example, or maybe some key differences between the NFT version and the physical item, for example. Like here, while obviously Starfire isn't animated in the physical form. And now to finish off, let's have a look at the comics tab right here. So again, to the left, we have all the relevant information with regards to the digital versions, and the right side is for the physical world. So, and again, the main focus is whether a given cover exists in a physical world or not, and the information is displayed in a format that I believe allows for easy identification of which cover fits that criteria. So for example, we can see that all those here only exist on VeVe, but for Arcevics, the 5 of them exist in the physical world as well. And also displayed for each comic is the publication date here, and a notes column for additional comments completes this comics tab. One difference is I didn't have references columns because the 2 that I used are almost always the same. So they are Marvel's official website and gocollect.com. So that's why they are in here. So there you have it, my latest project. So one thing I would like to mention before ending this video is, so you may have noticed that as of the making of this video, there isn't a season 4 tab yet. So that's because the end of season 3 was my cutoff for this video. But of course, I plan to keep adding to this spreadsheet whenever I am able to. And actually a second something, so here you might have noticed there are some yellow, so this means that I couldn't find the information for this one. So with that said, so hopefully you enjoyed the project and the video. So also feel free to comment down below or to reach out to me on Twitter at Mr. Tradevestor if you have any feedback to make. But for now, thank you everyone and see you again. Moon.